Summertime 1940 in London, and I was being born into the middle of a war. My actual memories of the war, of course, don't start for a few years. By that time, the people were fed up of running to the shelters every night. So at least in our building, the neighbors would all gather in somebody's apartment and play cards as though nothing was happening. My favorite thing to do, when they were all engrossed in their games, I'd sneak underneath the air raid blackouts and watch the giant fireworks display in the sky. Of course, at that age, there was no fear and there was no anxiety. It was just pretty spectacular. London was covered in barrage balloons, which were huge balloons full of nitrogen and helium that were attached to the ground on thick steel cables. The purpose was to stop the bombers coming in too low, because if they came in below the balloons, they ran a great risk of ripping off their wings when they hit the cables, which the pilots couldn't see. This is the main reason that most of London's great buildings survived the war, because they couldn't come low enough to actually find their targets. Besides, there were many, many anti-aircraft batteries firing at the airplanes. Every sixth bullet that they fired was a tracer, which meant it had a little firework in the back of it. So as it went up, the gunners could see exactly where their bullets were going. And beside every emplacement was a huge searchlight that tried to find the planes and keep them in its beam so the gunners could have a good target. One of the prettiest things to me was watching the little silver bombs falling through the searchlight beams. And every once in a while, the anti-aircraft fire would hit a barrage balloon, and it would explode like a huge fireball in the sky.
Canada is not a dumping ground, and we have our own problems with poverty as it is.
The great gunning bee. And with that single sentence, you loudly proclaim your complete ignorance of the issues and also your personal bigotry.
Robert Cooper. The Canada I served didn't hem and haw about what to do or rescue others. It acted.
Gareth Jones. Are you somewhat hard of thinking or just deranged? The fact that you are ignorant of the extreme dangers of overpopulation proves that you're worth only my pity.
Earl Richards. Our budgets cannot afford these people.
The great gunning bee. Obviously, reading comprehension isn't one of your abilities. Perhaps you should cut down on the demon drink, especially in the morning.
Robert Cooper. I wish we were the confident and just nation we used to be.
Brit 1968. Sorry, can't take you seriously after that statement.
Earl Richards. These Syrian refugees are not our concern.
Hey guys, do you know why cannibals don't eat clowns? Because they taste funny. My second most vivid memory of the war was sometime later. Our apartment building was a 4-story walk-up with a circular stairway running down the middle of the building. We were all on our way on the stairway. I remember holding my mother's hand as we went down the stairway. All the neighbors were pouring out of their apartments into the stairwells, and everybody was heading down to the shelters. When suddenly, the building next door took a direct hit, and our building began to shake like a leaf. Everybody just grabbed the railings, and I remember thinking, how interesting. They've all turned into white statues. And everybody was frozen and chalk white. Of course, I was too young to know what was happening, so for me, it was merely interesting. My mother was the first one to come around. She gave herself a shake, reached into her purse for her flask of brandy that she always carried there, took a drink, gave me a drink. My first taste of alcohol, I thought, oh, that was good. And then we all trooped down to the shelters.
Well, yeah, that's, I think it's a theater thing. Isn't it?
Yeah.
They always leave the light bulbs so nobody trips on themselves when they come in.
Is this sprung? This floor?
Yes, it's an end grain. It's not. I don't think it's called a spring floor, but it's an end grain wood floor.
Ah, it's
You can
very
see the whole bunch
unique.
of end of the blocks of wood.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah,
How-
so all
how
pieces
thick is
of
it?
end grain wood. How thick?
Yeah.
I don't know that. But I know they're always nervous about scratching it out.
It's good
Oh,
sound.
It's not strong.
Oh, it's never a
No, I
good
don't
thing to
think
have
it's a
before
spring
you worry
floor.
about
It's,
scratching.
it's an end grain though. You can see
Yeah.
like it's an end
That
grain
Yeah.
makes it
wood.
softer.
Can't remember how many. Apparently it does. Yeah. I guess it's good for sound as well.
Yeah.
sound.
But anyways, like I said, the theater can change, the seating arrangements can slightly change, like there is, these wooden slats here, that's actually seats.
Ah.
Come out, so there's on the sides if they come out, I think this has to go back, because this come out as a part of this next out. Some different configurations of it.
It's really interesting.
Then all this
Like
can
the
fold
theaters
right
go
down.
right onto the stage.
I don't know. For some reason, I thought I had an image of like a rise stage, and I was like, "Oh shit! I don't want to. I don't want to dance."
Basically, yeah, all this will fold right down.
But it makes it more intimate. Like this
It does.
is quite
It's
nice.
so big that like